What happened to make you completely change your opinion on someone you were dating? I was 15, dumb as hell because I'd never really been in a serious relationship before, and had no idea what I was doing. This was my first love, so of course I was convinced I was going to marry him. He was 18 and a total piece of work. He told me he loved me, that we were going to be together forever, and sold me on the idea of a perfect life. I wanted to be grown so badly that I jumped at my chance to feel like an adult. The crazy thing is, there's not a singular event or thing he did to trigger a grandiose get the hell away from me moment. He was horrible from the beginning. Our first date as a couple was homecoming. He was actually taking another girl to homecoming as a friend, but the week before he told me he canceled on her so he could go as my date. Instead of seeing this as the red flag it was, 15-year-old me thought it was some grandiose romantic gesture. It was only downhill from there. He expected me to be on the phone with him constantly when I wasn't at school. I would get home from school and he would expect me to call. If I took too long to do it, he would yell at me. We would stay on the phone until I literally fell asleep. On the weekends, I was expected to call him as soon as I woke up. If I slept in too late, he would yell at me. What were we talking about? Literally nothing. He would expect me to stay on the phone with him sitting in silence for hours and get mad if I said I wanted to go. Half the time he would get mad at me anyway for not having anything to say, never mind the fact that he didn't have anything to say either. Anytime I told him I would be out of town for the weekend for a family or optional school trip, he would get angry at me. It took at minimum an hour to get him to tell me what his deal was. Every time he would tell me he had this amazing weekend planned and we were going to go out and do all these fun things. Never mind the fact that he never had any plans for any of the weekends I was in town. He did get physical on a couple of occasions, but, dumb teenager me just thought it was because he was so passionate. I kinda realized I was in over my head when he started pressuring me to have intimacy. I didn't want to, but he did. And he talked about all these plans about going to a hotel room and how amazing it was going to be. It made me super uncomfortable, but after a while I just started going along with making the plans because I knew it meant we would move past the subject faster. I'm not sure what happened. I was talking with my mom one day and something just snapped. It was like one minute I was head over heels with this guy and the next I was repulsed by the very idea of him. My mom made and executed a plan beyond what I could have handled myself. I ended it over the phone because I was scared of how he would react in person. My mom contacted his parents and told them what was going on. She contacted the school to make sure I had support there too. I made it clear to him in no uncertain terms that he shouldn't talk to me or come around me at all. He drove by my house frequently for a couple of days. My mom called me out of school for a week. He would sit outside on the street for an hour or two at a time. Even our neighbors got involved in helping us. They would warn us if he was outside or let us know if he came by when we were out. It got kinda bad and I went to stay with my dad for a few days. He came by and left a card and a stuffed bear on the porch at my mom's on Valentine's Day. Eventually he just stopped. But I spent a lot of time scared out of my mind not knowing if or when he was going to pop up, even after he stopped coming around. I still have no idea why he stopped, but I won't forget that kind of fear.